I'm talking about being sore after that hit on Monday Night Football. Stephen A., so should the Pats be more aggressive with him or conservative?
Well, the word conservative will come to my mind, and what I mean by that is not having him run the football as much. Let Burkhead run the football a little bit more. Let Damian Harris run the football a little bit more, and others. That would be my suggestion. Let him limit the amount of times he's running with the football because he's plus 30 years of age, and as a result of that, you know what? In his injury history, you don't want to subject his body to additional punishment. If Cam is indeed the guy that completed better than 67% of his passes while Norv Turner was his offensive coordinator, maybe it would behoove him to throw the football a bit more effectively or put himself in a position where he could certainly learn to do so quick, fast, and in a hurry to prolong his career, because of the success of Cam Newton is going to be contingent on him running with the football and using his physical prowess and athletic ability to really, really be the impetus for his success, as opposed to him throwing the football from the quarterback position. Cam Newton is not going to be long for this league. He's going to be out of this league sooner than later. That's where I'm talking about conservative. I'm not talking about just running the football with him not throwing it. I'm talking about him throwing the football considerably more, thinking less of running the football and leaving those duties to others. They got the 4th-ranked rushing attack, but they rank 28th in their passing attack and 28th in offense. So that's nothing to be smiling about, joking about, laughing about, or anything. And I think that obviously they've already proven they can run the football, and that hasn't worked enough for their offense. So the bottom line is he might need to throw the football more effectively, and I think that's where his focus needs to lie. That's why I use the word conservative. I'm only talking about him cutting down on running with the football.
He needs to be aggressive. The Patriots need to be aggressive with Cam. It is a risk for Cam. It will take a toll on the length of his career. It all may add up to nothing. It may all be for naught, right? It doesn't matter, and you risk your career, and you wind up with a catastrophic injury even. But you have to be aggressive with Cam. The Patriots have absolutely nothing on this team except the 2 most important things you need for a football franchise: the head coach and the quarterback. They have a head coach who's the greatest of all time, and they got a quarterback. Their quarterback is bigger, stronger. He's the best combination of size, speed, strength, and toughness that you can get at the position. And you have to use that. He's not going to sit back in the pocket and beat you with his accuracy down the field, though he's capable of threading the needle from time to time, and he has a strong arm. He's going to do it with his physical prowess, right? He's going to have to do it with his heart, too. And Belichick knows this. The whole thing about Bill Belichick is, remember, the Patriots, they're never preparing for just one team because Belichick takes whatever tools he needs out of the toolbox, and it's like a different team week 2, from week 3, from week 6. Then you see him again in week 8, and it's completely, wait a minute, that's not the same team. He applies the tools necessary for the job. He's got one tool on this team. He doesn't have a defense. He doesn't have an offense. He has a quarterback. That's it. And his quarterback runs, and he has the size, speed, strength, and toughness to do it. And I will remind everyone, yes, it may all be for nothing in the end. Well, what'd you risk Cam like that for? See, Cam, that was stupid. Now you don't have a big contract, and you have a catastrophic injury, or you're beaten down. I will remind everyone again, they've beaten the Dolphins, they've beaten the Raiders. Forget about the Jets for a second. They came 1 play away from beating the Seahawks and 1 play away from beating the Bills, both on Cam. If Cam is successful on those 2 plays, we're talking about a 5-3 team with wins against the Dolphins, Raiders, Bills, and Seahawks. As it is, they're 3-5. Doesn't always work out. But the fact that I can even say that it's 2 plays away is because Belichick has used Cam the way you got to use Cam, and they must continue to do it. The season's not over yet.
Yeah, look, right now, man, and I know we all love combat sports. This is what I needed Lomachenko to do against Lopez in the last round, was to come out and throw hands and to be aggressive. And to do that, you might have to open yourself up to being knocked out. That's what the Patriots are, but that's more importantly, that's what Cam Newton is. It's not about conserving anymore. It's not about, well, let me hold on, let me save my body and see how long I can play. Because if Cam Newton doesn't play well, down the stretch of this season, if Cam Newton doesn't find ways to win games, if the Patriots don't become a competitive, at least playoff contender, I don't believe he ever starts in this game again. At least not unless somebody gets hurt or he's the backup on the team and then that quarterback can't play for some reason. That's the only way Cam starts if he doesn't play well down the stretch. If the New England Patriots don't start to win games. I know from the outside looking in, as the media members, we understand that they don't have the weapons. We understand that people have opted out. But when we talk about reality, the reality is 32 teams looked at Cam Newton for the most part of the offseason and said he wasn't good enough. 32 teams looked at Cam Newton and said that he was damaged goods. And so for Cam, this is as much about perception as it actually is reality, as it actually is production. So he has to win. He has to also go and show that he can win being himself. That is, if he has to be athletic, if he has to be physical, if he has to take the ball on the outside, if he has to become the main runner in the red zone, he has to be able to do that. And from the passing standpoint, the same way Stephen A mentions, he has to be able to make the big throws as we saw him down the stretch against the New York Jets. But let's be honest, nobody's looking at the New York Jets and saying to themselves, oh my goodness, Cam Newton found a way to beat them. If Cam Newton holds on to the ball and they find a way to beat the Buffalo Bills, that's different. If Cam Newton gets into the end zone over Bobby Wagner and they beat the Seattle Seahawks, that's a different thing. But we haven't seen that. And so for the last half of this season, Cam Newton does have to be Superman. He does have to be multidimensional. He has to be a guy that can carry this team that we know don't have the weapons that he needs. That's what we have to see. And so for Cam, he has to make a decision. Will I come out in the championship rounds and put myself in position to be put to sleep? Will I come out and risk my chin, put my chin out there in order to knock out my opponent? Because that's who he has to be. I believe his career is on the line as much as the New England Patriots playoff hopes are on the line. But for the Patriots, they'll continue playing. Bill Belichick will get an opportunity to continue coaching. But for Cam Newton, this could be the last chance. So he has to be willing to do everything possible and everything he physically can to get it done. And that's being aggressive in both the run and the pass game.
And as Brady is, he's a leader. One thing about Brady is you get the feeling if it came down to those two plays, they would be 5-3. He gets guys to follow him. Cam has to do that when his teammates see, whoever's left, whatever talent they have, when they see him laying out for the team, they will follow him, and the Patriots are still alive in the AFC East.
I think both of y'all are wrong, and I say that emphatically because of this reason alone. Even though he is a quarterback, what do they do to running backs in the National Football League? No matter how gifted they
get rid of
are,
them.
they sit up there and they say, you're 30 years of age, it's time to move beyond you because your body has absorbed but so much punishment. We know that the end is near for you. So we're predicting that it's going to arrive at this particular moment in time, and that's how we're going to treat you. Cam Newton is not judged like a typical quarterback because most of his prowess comes from his ability to run with the football, to be the physical, imposing, athletic guy that he is, to run with the football and to move those chains. That's how he made a name for himself. We don't think about it, Ryan. In all your years of covering football, as great as you have done, think about the times we've talked about Cam. It's rare we're talking about some spectacular throw he's made. I'm not saying the brother's a scrub by any stretch of the imagination. He's a former league MVP. But him being physically imposing, his athletic ability, running with the football, that's what we talked about with Cam. And I'm telling you right now, if you sit up there and you have him running all over the place with the football, and he's talking about being dinged up or hurt or what have you, they're going to use it as an excuse not to bring him on board or not to pay him what he might deserve. And that's where I'm coming from.
And Stephen A., and that might happen. That is what Max is saying. It might be for naught. But if they told you, you know what, Stephen A., you've been doing this job a long time. We want you to come on and do this show like Max Kellerman. And they still got rid of you. You'd be pissed off because you would say, you know what, I didn't go out being me. But if you came on here and you were Stephen A. and you use words like blasphemous and temerity and all those things and you screamed and you talk about people's hairline and they still kicked you off, at least you went off being you. If Cam Newton tries to be a passer, if Cam Newton wants to sit in the pocket, they are still going to get rid of him. He's not the thing you said was we don't talk about his passing. You know why? Because he's not necessarily great at it. That's not the way he wins football games. And so if he sits in his pocket and tries to do that, he won't be playing anyway. Give him all you got, all you can do, what makes you special. And if that doesn't work, then it's okay. But you can't do it trying to be something you are not. And if Cam Newton becomes a pocket passer, he will be sitting at home watching football with us.
That is an absolutely horrible analogy to bring up my name with Max Kellerman. That's like asking Tom Brady to be Blaine Gabbert. I don't understand how you can say such a thing.
No,
I don't understand how you can say such a thing.
More like
I don't understand how you say such a thing.
You can't ask Stephen A to run around and make miracle throws like Mahomes.
I'm only